Shit dogs.
Shit dogs.
I will say, this is the quickest we have hit record once we've all been on.
It's the shit fucking dogs.
That's what we wanted to start doing, right?
Yes, sir.
This shit fucking... Not waste this shit. Not waste our beautiful words. Oh, man, you guys ever feel like you don't give a fuck about any other podcast but this one? Like, watch it, anybody?
Yep.
That's crazy coming from the person that listens to more podcasts than anybody else here.
Prove it.
Yeah, I'm gonna need to stop listening to any podcast.
I listen to them, but just to make sure that they're like total shit, and ours is the one that fucking fucks.
That's crazy.
That's fun.
I'll tell you, the Timberwolves look like they don't give a fuck about the Nuggets.
No, my man Ant went off. I watched like the last 4 minutes of the game.
It's pretty close at the end of the fourth quarter. And the Timberwolves solidly won the fourth by 5 points. Finished with a 7-point victory. Take a 1-0 series lead against the defending champs. Should Nuggets Nation be worried?
Probably not.
I unfortunately did not get to watch it.
Should they be worried? Absolutely.
Took it at home, no less.
They'd be dumb if they're not worried.
I think the top of their worry priority list is a guy named Ant.
Yeah, I mean he's the catalyst for everything. I didn't even really watch the majority of the game. I only watched part of it. I was unfortunately at work, but timeline was going crazy about Ant taking over. I just don't really know what the defensively the Denver can do to really deal with them, because I don't really know if they have a great, like, unless they want to play KCP more. I don't really think that Ant is going to have a problem with any of the other guards, and KCP I don't think like stop him. But
yeah, KCP's got to be their main guy on him, because you need Porter, I feel like, to guard Jaden McDaniels.
Yeah.
You could potentially switch those guys. I know Jaden McDaniels literally got 0 points in the first game of the series against the Nuggets. So, like, yeah, maybe, like, if you think Porter, his size, his length might be better to stop, the quick bursts of Anthony Edwards. You could try it. But I don't know if I'd really say he's a better defender than KCP for sure. And other than that, I mean, yeah, who else are you going to put on him? But the path to Nuggets victory is definitely not letting Ant get 43 points next time.
Yeah. That's a fact.
Well, the first series of many other playoffs has been wrapped up. We got the Mavies.
Yes, sir.
Putting the Clips out of their misery.
When is the first game of that series?
The Thunder Mavs is going to be Tuesday. Yeah, after the Mavs took down the Old Timers team, and the Thunder swept the Pels without Zion. They're going to be facing off. The West down to 4 teams. 4 teams I thought it'd be down to, but man, if the Timberwolves beat up the Nugs, that's going to be my first series prediction miss. Can't call me Netstradamus anymore, like you all have been calling me.
Yeah, you have been called that around here.
You ain't gotta lie like that.
It's on. I just want to get it on the record, Lower or truth. I just wanted to be on the record. This kind of guy I am. Always give the press a statement, no matter what charges I'm facing. Anyway, over in the East, almost down to 4 teams. One series going a little long. You're like, finish it up, guys. Come on.
A little long. It's the last game. As long as it could be.
No, yeah, the Cavs and Magic are playing right now. Score right now, Magic 20. Cavs at home 12. Almost the end of the first quarter. Less than 2 minutes left. Only 12 points.
Yeah, Cavs are fucking ass. That's the problem we have here.
Well, Chris, you said that the Celts might have some trouble with the Magic. I mean, shit.
No.
No, yeah, my Netstradamus actually might end today if the Magic pull out a win on the Cavs, though.
Honestly, it wouldn't even be that crazy because it doesn't even matter. It matters for the Magic fan base and the Cavs fan base, and that's it.
Yeah.
I actually think it matters more for the Magic, to be honest with you, just as a young team. I feel like it could be something to build off of,
For sure.
Sort of win playoff experience.
I think for the Cavs, they lost the first round last year, I'm pretty sure, to the Knicks, because it's their second time advancing in a row. I'm pretty sure they played last year. But Cavs losing 2 years in a row, I mean, it seems like you got a pretty good team. Like, are you worried as the GM there, as a fan of the franchise?
Yeah, I mean, you're kind of stuck in like an adjacent to the Hawks situation to me, but like maybe slightly worse even, because I feel like they have a more solid foundation that is like you feel like you have to keep someone like Garland and Mitchell because like they're talented. You know, Jared Allen, pretty talented defensively.
Mobley,
really talented defensively. You have a lot of potential, like relatively young guys, but like there is like a feeling to me that it's like they are not anywhere near, like there is still another tier that they are not going to cross with their current roster. And it's like you either have to make peace with the fact you're going to have to trade one of those type of pieces to get somebody that can impact like right now, or you are just going to have to be patient and accept the fact that you're probably going to lose some series like this for the next like couple of years. I just don't know what they're going to be willing to do.
You don't think the roster is capable of the kind of progression they would need, and/or Donovan Mitchell isn't the killer they want?
It's hard.
I think they're basically like a younger Timberwolves. They got the two big guys down low that are both pretty young.
I just can see that.
They've got Donovan Mitchell's like the Ant comparison. I just don't think they got the wings to compete really.
It feels kind of like the Jazz with Mitchell and Gobert, kind of, where it's like they were always a good team, but I've never had the feeling that like when push came to shove, like I'm taking the top dogs of both the East and the West to like handle them in the playoffs. Like I just still kind of feel that way. I don't know if that's a Donovan Mitchell thing. I don't know if that's just like, you know, they happen to be sort of building a roster that's kind of similar to that, but I don't know. It's tough because you see the Suns, they kind of did the opposite. You know, they tried to make a splash and like find guys that they thought can impact now, and that shit didn't work either. So it's kind of like, I don't know, it's kind of a purgatory situation.
You got to take that risk, you know, get those good players and just see, you know, but sometimes it's not enough. Also, to your point about the wings being shorthanded, I definitely agree there. It feels like they don't really have a starting wing yet, but the Cavs' other starting four I do like, you know, a fair amount, like Garland, Mitchell, Mobley, and the currently out Jarrett Allen, who might end up being what would have been the difference for the Cavs in this series, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Because he's having a career year, especially defensively. He's doing really good rebounding and blocking. Yeah, they really do have, like, the defensive prowess, and if they can just get that offense, you know, consistent rhythm, I think they could be a really dangerous team, which, you know, they pretty much proved this year by being the second standing in the East for most of the year, I think, before the Knicks usurped them right at the end. But will the Knicks have the gumption to usurp those fiery offensive Pacers?
Fuck yeah.
Yeah.
Nope.
I think because
Diaz won no. Okay.
Brunson's a dog, and I just don't know if they have.
He's certainly been dogging out lately.
Down.
Yeah, he impressed me in the end of that last series. I feel like he kind of came into the Sixers series, first 2 or 3 games, didn't really play up to standard, but there was like a pretty clear switch when Brunson started like picking it back up, that you could kind of just feel the energy of the entire team. Like, okay, this is the feeling of like, all right, the Knicks could be a problem.
Yeah.
Whenever he's on.
They needed their primary guy for sure. They needed someone who's gonna, you know, be unstoppable, putting the ball in the basket. If you're one of the Final Four teams, you pretty much need that, or, you know, a really good, solid, you know, all around team. But
he's a tough shot maker, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, yeah.
And he started making some tough shots just after we started talking about how much he was dropping the ball a little bit, like a week ago.
Yeah.
It's pretty much averaged like, you know, 35, 40 points like every for the game since then. You know, I don't know if the Pacers, if they got the D to stop them, but they could outscore the Knicks. I mean, they could always do that.
Playoffs is so like tough to. I feel like I've seen many years where it's like, unless you're like a Golden State Warriors level offense, like it's gonna be really hard to just like try to outpace and outscore somebody. Like generally, like the defense is gonna have to come into play a part, and I think, I just think the Pacers defense is noticeably bad. What do you guys think of the Sixers? Do y'all think that Maxey is somebody that can that they should build around and maybe try to shop Embiid? Do you think they should try to grab another piece to help both of them? Do you think they should trade Maxey? I think that would be fucking crazy.
I mean, I think they need another piece.
Yeah. A strong wing could maybe put him over the top, at least get him out of the first round loss here. They're very dependent on Embiid being healthy right now, which does seem like a little bit of a wild card factor. I think at the very least, though, the Sixers can build around Tyrese Maxey, who looks to be showing that he's going to be a dog for the foreseeable future. You know, he could handle the responsibilities of a primary shot maker. Yeah, he almost pulled the Sixers out of that series with the Knicks.
The problem with the Sixers is that Tobias Harris is an absolute garbage can.
Yeah, he's gone.
Looking up $40 million a year.
That's another one of quote-unquote Shaq's guys that he needs to play better.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he's like, need Tobias. He's got to be the guy. Especially with Embiid out. He's like, Harris has got to fucking score.
He's 100% right.
Yeah, I think he had 0 points in their elimination game.
Yep, elimination game, 29 minutes, 0 points. With 2 shots.
Yeah, that's unacceptable.
Making $40 million a year. I think I saw something where of the people who have scored 0 points in the elimination game, he's made the most, like twice as much as the next person. $40 million a year scoring 0 in an elimination game. It's crazy.
Yeah, that is absolutely absurd.
Fat contracts without production. Even if you got just one of them that's egregious, it can sink a team's playoff hopes.
It's not baseball. There's a limit. Sort of same thing happened with Bradley Beal. So much he made depended on him to be like a true third star, and it's like did not get that out of him at all in a game. I think they're gonna have to end up trading KD low key.
I could see, him or Beal getting dealt, and I know there's been rumors for Book going to New York, or else I'd say they would never deal Book.
They'd be so dumb to do Book to me.
Yeah, but if Book becomes the number 2 and I'm thinking number 2 in New York.
Oh, that's crazy. But you might be right.
That's basically like having 2 primary scorers. I think the Knicks are really starting to look scary to a team like the Celtics at that point.
If they trade Book, it wouldn't be. I don't think it's because of the management of the Suns. I think because Book went out. Suns
I can see that.
Very bleak future. The KD Beal contracts, no picks, no nothing.
Exactly, on the no picks thing, they traded all their picks to get these 3. As they say, mortgage their pretty much entire near future, like up until like 2030.
Which in principle works if you're making the playoffs and making it to the Western Conference Finals every year.
Winning
but
teams, things.
You can't get swept in the first round.
Yeah, exactly.
They made it to their second series last year without Beal. I think I saw a stat somewhere that said that Beal, Durant, and Booker had the worst offensive efficiency rating in any playoffs out of a big 3. They were like the worst big 3 to ever all be healthy and play in the playoffs.
That's crazy. Not having a true point guard also does not help anything.
Yeah.
Like even if you got a team that got a bunch of bucket getters, you don't really have a guy that helps facilitate and bring all those pieces together. And I saw reports that like the coach and much of the coaching staff was saying that they wanted a point guard. But upper management was basically like, no, we'll be fine, like with Booker and Beal. And it's like, the upper management does not know what the fuck they're doing when it comes to sports.
Yeah, I saw Frank Vogel saying that, we needed a true point guard. There was some pushback on that I thought was understandable, which is that KD would be playing the 4 and guarding the 4, which, might be a defensive liability, even though he's pretty long. That Suns owner, he's like, he's always been like touting that he's one of the best, basketball minds among GMs. Like, he seems like he cares about it the most, at least, like, being involved with the players and shit. But maybe that's not translating how he thought it would. Maybe he's caring to the point that he's substantially messing up his team's ability to perform and value.
Yeah.
Can't care too much. Look at Brad Stevens. He let go of Marcus Smart. Robert Williams.
Yeah.
Cold.
Made some
Do what he need to do.
sort of bold decisions there, yeah. Defensive player of the year, letting him go. But seems like it's working out for the Celtics.
Seems that way.
Well, it helps whenever Memphis was like, or whoever it was that gave away 2 fucking first round picks in that trade. Like to this day, if it literally feels like there was like some shit that happened under the table. How the fuck were they able to get 2 first round picks in that? Like no one in their right mind thought Marcus Smart had that type of value. Like I don't care how good of a defender you thought he was. Like that is absolutely insane.
Yeah, Memphis has been in total poverty this year. They shouldn't be because they were like the 2nd seed a fucking year ago, but they've seemed like a team that's an extended bench for other teams like, the Hornets or something this year. Whoever comes out of the West and into the Westies conferences, I think is going to be a great matchup. I think we got the best 4 teams in the West, and they're going to be playing hard, and we're in for some good series. The East, I think, the Celtics are probably going to wash whoever comes out of the Cavs Magic lineup, and Knicks will probably take it over the Pacers, and I hope the Knicks can give the Celtics a formidable challenge. Hard to see the Celtics not going to the finals as we've all come to expect this year.
You can hope all you want. Better 18.
Hey, chew on this.
I don't know if you guys heard, but there's been some electricity in the air.
It's just big me, nigga.
It keeps on going. Kendrick Lamar and Drake beef just won't end after K-Dot just fired off a second explosive track. We're breaking down some of the top.
This sort of feud actually does have more substance in the 2010s than I thought. In Control, this is J. Cole, Meek Mill, Drake, Big Crit, Whale, Pusha T, A$AP Rocky, Tyler the Creator, Mac Miller, Big Sean, and Jay Electronica.
We got love for them all.
Pusha T, Meek Mills,
Trying to murder him.
Yeah, trying to make sure nobody's ever heard of him.
Tyler Miller, I got love for you all, but I'm trying to murder you niggas. Trying to make sure your core fans never heard of you niggas. They don't want to hear not one more noun or verb from you niggas. What is competition? I'm trying to
Also, one thing to note about Control as well is there were other people like Big Crit, for sure in particular. I think Wale did, and Cole mentioned it in the bar, but Crit I know for sure had a direct track response. I don't think anybody else really. There's a couple people that would throw bars at it, but I don't think Kendrick addressed anybody else. Like he never addressed Crit after he responded to Control. I don't think he really responded to anybody other than Drake. Crit, I'm pretty sure, literally made like a whole ass fucking track, like an actual Control. He might have even, I can't remember. He might have rapped on the Control beat.
I'd never heard of the Drake song "The Language."
It was one of my favorite songs off of before I even understood what the fuck was happening when I was whenever I was in like high school and shit. Like that was always like, actually it's kind of funny, that's one of my least favorite songs on the album now, but when I was growing up that was one of my favorites.
Despite lyrics that suggest otherwise, Drake told Vibe magazine that he thinks Kendrick is not a bad guy and actually a fucking genius.
Kendrick over the beat of Shook Ones in October 2013 did a little freestyling lip sync to Drake. Joke's on you, your shots never penetrate, pin the tail on the donkey, boy you've been a fake.
I got my thumb on hip hop and my foot in the back of your ass. I'll never forget sitting on the couch whenever that shit was. Those cyphers would be so fucking cool. They would like have random people, and every now and then you'd have like a group that's like maybe 1 or 2 people that I really cared about. But bro, whenever they announced it was TDE, it was like holy shit, all of them are gonna be rapping, and then like, oh yeah, that shit was so cool. Like you could hear the crowd react because the crowd's playing, like getting played the same cipher with them, like in audience, so you can hear everybody like. Whenever someone new comes on, everyone like cheers, and the moment like Kendrick started, it was like, woo! Everybody freaking the fuck out and shit. That shit was cool.
It was you and Bol Bol there.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, it was. I couldn't really see the screen because he was too fucking tall in front of me. But
I didn't realize that there actually had been like some shots here, and maybe something was brewing a little bit. In that like 2013 to 2016 era. And I think maybe even, it seemed like Drake was pretty much not acting on, whenever Kendrick would throw some shade his way. It seemed like Kendrick actually kind of wanted the feud to start back then.
I would agree.
But then things went pretty quiet for a while. Looks like Kendrick may have had a diss on Drake the last time in the 2010s on Dr. Dre's Compton album, where he called him a great white N-word. This is life in my aquarium. And yeah, then nothing happens, until some people would say first-person shooter. Where Cole said he's Muhammad Ali, which does seem a little bit incendiary to me. He's obviously he's bowed out at this point. He's letting the big dogs go at it.
A good man with a good family and a smart heart.
Good head on his shoulders.
That was October 2023. Flash forward to March 22nd. Just over a month ago, you got Like That coming out. Kendrick addressing the Big Three comments, and I think most people say really starting the diss back and forth on this track. I know, Logan, you said one of your favorite lines, for all the dogs getting buried, K with all these nines, gonna see Pet Cemetery.
That is probably my favorite line from Kendrick in that one.
Yeah, Kendrick, he heard the shots in the wind, and something awoke in him that hasn't awoken 10 years, and it was an anti-Drake hatred.
I would say first, like, absolute direct shot. There's no question of subliminals. Like, I would argue that most hip hop fans kind of know that he's talking about Drake on like the Heart Part 4, but there is enough of a blur that I think it's just a good subliminal. I think both of them have done the good subliminal game for pretty much all of the 2010s, but it wasn't until Like That I feel like it was undoubtedly, this is he wants to do this. Yeah, he wants to do this now.
Yeah, but boy oh boy have things gotten more intense. March 25th, Drake responds to Kendrick at a tour stop in Florida. A lot of people asking me how I'm feeling. Quote,
I'm gonna let you know how I'm feeling. Listen, the way I'm feeling is the same way I want you to walk out of here feeling tonight about your fucking self. Cause you know how I'm feeling? I got my fucking head up high, my back straight, I'm 10 fucking toes down in Florida or anywhere else I go, and I know that no matter what, it's not a nigga on this earth that can ever fuck with me in my life. And that's how I want you to walk out of here tonight.
After that confident statement, on his tour date in Florida, in April, he released Push-Ups onto streaming services.
Boy Wonder, Take Heed. I think I think that one's predominantly Boy Wonder, because I think Take Heed is just the back half part that is the early sort of preview and Family Matters. At the very end where he switches, because that part's definitely Take Heed.
Yeah, Push-Ups, first full song, fully dedicated to a diss in the back and forth. Did you guys feel like this one hit hard? Was it more of jabs? What do you think?
It's definitely more jabs than it. To me, it seemed like, other than like the shots he took at like The Weeknd and Rick Ross, and I want to say there's at least one other. Oh, Future and Metro. He kind of took shots at, but it was mainly about Kendrick, almost calling Kendrick out to play in a way. By just throwing jabs, because even though he goes after those other guys in that track, he always brings it back to Kendrick after every other diss.
Yeah, I think that track was, I think at that point in the battle was necessary for him to address everything. I think again a big thing about beef is narrative, and how both artists can push a narrative. And I think at that point in the beef, the narrative was Drake is getting attacked at every single angle by all these people at once, and I think the best way to attack that was to like make a track that was, sort of addressing everything, but it never felt like that he was really like. It always felt like to me when I'm listening to Push-Ups, it like, all right, I'm gonna get to all y'all because all y'all have something to say to me, but like, Kendrick is the one that I'm focused. I really care enough to really even like put a lot of effort into. And I think he was right to do that because I don't think he has real malice for Future, as we'll talk about later in future tracks. And Metro, I think that there is real beef, but I mean, it's a producer. I don't know how much you're going to really engage with a producer, even though Metro is, massive in his own right. And then Ross is, a legend in his own right, but he's not to the stature of Kendrick and Drake.
And at this point, the Rick Ross diss track against Drake had already come out, right?
No, Push-Ups.
No, it was after Push-Ups. Right after Push-Ups.
Yeah, pretty much. Literally like a few hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, I think I remember. It was the leak came out for Push-Ups, and then the Ross came out, and then Push-Ups officially got released.
Yeah, Push-Ups leaked on April 13th.
And Ross literally dropped that day, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, and then the official release on platforms was April 19th.
Oh, really, really trying to keep it PG.
Trying to look up what he said about John Morant in the song. Do you guys remember?
Said something along the lines of, shout out to the Hooper that be...
That's another gritty. We know why you mad.
We know you're mad. All that crying shit's for bitches or whatever. Or all that crying on Twitter shit's for hoes or whatever.
Yeah, I don't know why he's going after John Morant.
I guess there's rumors that they ended up like somehow fucking the same girl. I think Drake was with her after Jaw. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah, it's Lotto's sister. Lotto's an artist.
Okay.
And yeah, I'm pretty sure Lotto's sister and Jaw dated, and then they broke up, and then there was rumors of that happening with Drake afterwards.
And there was rumors of Drake fucking Future's ex too, right?
I don't still know what the fuck happened. I honestly, bro, to be 100% honest with you, based on how Family Matters was, and really the lack of like direct like malice that I feel like I really got from Future on any of the projects, it really does kind of feel like that Metro has the problem with Drake and Future's riding with Metro. Like, I don't really know how much him and Future, like, obviously there is no, like, this is all allegations, but I don't really know. I have not seen any proof of, like, anybody having anything where they actually have an issue, other than just, like, for sure Metro and Drake. That's, like, the only thing that is, like, the guarantee, I feel like.
Supporting Kendrick, dissing on Like That, would be the only evidence.
True.
Future's still tossed up about this this woman, but that Future stuff might be a little unsubstantiated.
Yeah, that's also part of me hoping so, because I need another In Too Deep.
They've collaborated a
Or
lot.
Diamonds Dancing.
Another thing, we don't necessarily have to bring it up now, but it's around this time that Kanye, there's a leak about him having her Like That remix and it coming out. And I think more importantly is the narrative and the positioning that you could kind of branch off of after you hear the Kanye interview, which I'll be honest, I didn't listen to the whole interview. I've just listened to like various snippets that are out on Twitter with, I think it's Justin the Boy. But he basically is saying that like, insinuating that we all got together and for the takedown. What do you say? The takedown.
We're all energized by the elimination of Drake.
Which I think he's being. I think he's like partially joking, but I also think
Partially
that, like,
just kind of crazy.
yeah, it is absolutely a narrative that like that's why I am okay with Drake kind of positioning himself as like still the 1v20 sort of aspect, is because like there is no indication otherwise that like you have people that are directly working all with each other, all attacking the same person at the same time. It just, the positioning, the narrative looks crazy. Like, whether it is something happened or not is just like, it just seems way too coincidental that like, 4 out of the biggest names are all going after one person at the same time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think he's definitely afforded, a little bit of, 1v, however many, for sure. I don't view it as like an unfair necessarily ganging up on Drake.
Oh no, it's part of the top.
Yeah. Also, I was planning to gloss over 7-Minute Drill, which released between the leak of push-ups and its official release on April 5th.
It's a good man, a good family.
That's obviously the last time we will touch in on J. Cole.
Smart man.
They will touch in. Drake and Kendrick will touch in on him every now and then. Basically, all agree. That's the one thing they can all agree on is that J. Cole is not on their level. That is what they both believe.
He's really
J. Cole is okay with that.
And J. Cole is totally fine with that.
Yeah, he said, "Fuck y'all, I'm gonna smoke weed. I'm gonna do me." But he's really got the 1v20
Right,
kind of thing going now.
He really should, bro. He really should come back.
It's a 20v0 because he's not fighting back at all.
Yeah.
Like, yep, sure. You see what's happening? I didn't want that.
Smart man.
He's one of those Pokemon that just uses Harden every time, like a Metapod or something. So, April 24th, a more direct attack from Drake. His second diss track, solely aimed at Kendrick. The tailor-made freestyle. A big kind of cultural talk piece after it came out because it uses AI vocals illegally. Uses the voices of Tupac and Snoop Dogg. So he couldn't post it on streaming platforms or anything. But yeah, he uses these voices, I'd say somewhat effectively to upset Kendrick.
Get under his skin.
Definitely way more of an attack, I feel like, than the jabs that push-ups contain.
And it's also the only one that's like really a direct Kendrick shot. Like push-ups is everybody. I feel like Taylor made is like 95%. Further, sort of like I feel like solidifying that like Drake is not wanting it or really cares to want it with anybody else, but like definitely wants to engage with Kendrick.
Yeah.
Yeah, and obviously the tailor-made title coming from the fact that Kendrick has had features, maybe even as Drake said, like the Top Dog has more or less convinced him to do, or who knows what kind of contract they have. You may just force them to do these features for Taylor or others. And it's a big cultural reference as Swift just released the Tormented Poets class or club or whatever.
Yeah.
Department, I think.
Yeah, I don't fucking know.
I couldn't tell you.
Department.
I couldn't tell you the name of it.
It's a store, and one department is tortured poets. Fucking, oh, you're looking for the poets? Yeah. We keep them real tortured up on the 3rd floor.
The Tortured Poets Department.
Yeah.
Are you serious?
Torment.
You think I was front? You think I was lying?
That shit sucks.
Holy.
Yeah, she should come out and start getting in this beef, really. Like, she should start firing shots at both of them.
Fun fact.
No. The Swifties.
Yeah, that could take over
out
all
of
of it.
their ass.
I think that's what you need to combat Drake and Kendrick fans. You need. I don't know if there's any less force that you could use.
Like Kendrick fans talk crazy, Drake fans talk crazy. The Swifties would be talking crazy.
Yeah, dead ass. That you would be arguing maybe the 3 worst fan bases in the world. Like, you throw in Kanye fans, and you just have the 4 horsemen of death.
4 horsemen.
I have a question for y'all. One thing I'm not gonna get super into that because I feel like we have talked a little bit about this over the last couple of weeks. But does the fact that the Tupac estate is like not his own family, but it's like a former exec owner of I want to say fucking Warner, I can't remember, but it's like it's no one connected directly to Tupac's actual family that owns his estate. Does that like make it less offensive to you guys that it's that person suing him and not like a family member that's like feels disrespected?
It was a guy who was the former head of Warner Brothers Records back in '89. Is who is the person who has, I guess, owns his estate. From the article that I'm looking at, his mother passed away in 2016, and allegedly, before she died, gave control to be the executor. That guy's name's Tom Wally.
I know that last I heard, Snoop was not desperately, but like really trying to get his masters and shit all under Death Row Records officially. And I think Snoop's kind of like been the figurehead for that. Death Row, I think, is technically, along with Snoop as an artist, a part of that music, or the group fucking... why the fuck am I blanking on this right now? Anyways, Snoop and Death Row is technically under this new music group. So I'm kind of wondering if and when that will I feel like Snoop would be a good person to have the Tupac masters and shit, all in hand. Someone that worked closely with him, and I feel like might be, have a better interest of what's right and wrong of what to be used in regards to, hip hop shit than, pretty much anybody else not named Dr. Dre.
The former head of Warner Bros. Obviously should not be owning all of this music, using other people's, pretty hard worked labor to profit himself in the millions.
Yeah.
He did sign Tupac, apparently himself, back in the day, around 1990, I assume. But he is currently being sued by Tupac's sister for $5.5 million in embezzling funds.
Wow.
So,
I did not know that.
Yeah, this guy might just be a scoundrel for sure.
Might?
He still has the right, and it might even be the right thing to do. I think it's still the right thing to do, to issue a cease and desist to Drake for using the voice.
Even if his sister owned the estate, I do think she would have done the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, he used to be a former head of A&R at Interscope Records.
Right, everybody is just fucking involved everywhere. It's so crazy, bro.
So yeah, just a guy with his hand in multiple honeypots, without even a lick of the honor of Winnie the Pooh. So, you can kind of get the fuck out of my face. So, TaylorMade freestyled a more direct punch at Kendrick. So Kendrick had to strike back. April 30th, these songs start getting long. Euphoria comes out. It's 6 minutes. Man, when this track came out, I was like, we're here.
Absolutely.
We're in the fucking diss war. Kendrick is going all out. TaylorMade was the 24th, but Push-Ups was out since April 19th, 13th. As the weeks passed, we started getting worried, man, is Kendrick gonna release? It's been it's been a week and a half since.
Bro, there was definitely that for both of them, from that to Push-Ups, and then from after pushing TaylorMade to Euphoria, people were questioning both of these guys are taking forever, which I always kind of thought is kind of crazy, because I think that they're both fucking, they're not they're mega fucking stars. I feel like they could take 2 or 3 weeks pretty much in between any of these, and I don't really have a problem with it. But the internet, for some reason, thinks that they need to respond in 2 hours. But
it's the internet, bro.
I think there was some discourse maybe that was a little unfair. That I saw a lot of discourse that it was when is Kendrick gonna drop? Even though it was less time between that and the leak of Push-Ups.
Yeah, people were tripping.
Push-Ups too, that.
People were tripping, and the amount of people I saw that were questioning whether Kendrick would come at all, or if he comes, if it's gonna be hard. Y'all, I feel in general, both groups, but honestly, maybe even more so, lately, I've seen, Drake fans, and maybe Drake even himself underestimate, what Kendrick is capable of. This is not Pusha T, this is not someone that you ever should have doubted or put any sort of, this is the one that is the problem. He has always been the problem. That, that I don't know how or why that was ever in question is so crazy to me.
Yeah, the man who has made plenty of this, that's been effective, and is, the majority of people's picks for the best, rapper alive, I would say, in terms of the talent, that they have, maybe even more so than just their full catalog.
What were our thoughts on Euphoria when it first dropped? I think it's the strongest jab thrown before the actual haymakers start dropping.
Agreed.
I think it's a elevation of intensity from what Push-Ups was and TaylorMade, but it still maintained a beautiful playfulness. I think up to date, most people on both sides, or I don't know, I'm not gonna speak for anybody, I'm gonna speak for myself. I think it was the best diss track up to date at that point. I think it was at that point relatively close for a lot of people. I think that most people would be like, all right, like Euphoria is probably the best track so far. At least for me, I'm not including like that as a, you could count it for like diss purposes, but I'm not including the entire song because he featured on it. But because to me, Like That might be the best record of all of these. If you just are talking about my favorite song between everything that's been released, Like That is probably my favorite song. But yeah, nonetheless.
I might even go Euphoria as my favorite song because I just love the beat on this and the way Kendrick is rapping. It's just like, and it's like, 6.5 minutes of it.
Yeah, he really is talking his shit on that.
Yeah, and it was just like when it came out, it was just so much of a haymaker to Drake. I felt like
that's where I think me and you kind of disagreed off the first initial reactions. We were talking on we were playing video games and talking about it, and like I didn't feel like it was like I didn't feel like anything that was shared in Euphoria to me was really anything groundbreaking, and I felt like that like new news that I thought that was going to be required for there to be like a real haymaker feel publicly, because most of this stuff I felt like was just like stuff that people had heard, but coming out of Kendrick's mouth, it definitely stung harder. But I feel like it it felt like to me that there was still like going to be needing to be more things like said, either more stuff aggressively or
out.
Yeah, that felt like it was intentionally, which we come to find out very much so. Of like, if you want to talk about stuff, we can go there, but like for now, I'm just gonna let you know that I know some shit, and you do what you think you need to do with that information.
Yeah, I just thought it was like, definitely more of a haymaker at the time, because he seemed to be going after what I saw as a very honest angle, which is the kind of fakeness of the Drake brand, to like sell his music more. If he's being authentic enough to like the culture of hip hop and rap and blackness. And that theme seemed to kind of take over the song by the end for sure. Kendrick wanting Drake to keep a certain word out of his vocabulary. And spoiler alert, he does not.
Whoa. Spoilers, bro.
Kendrick adding the word Crody to his vocabulary, of course.
So funny. Because he's also calling him a pussy when he's calling him a Crody. Because Drake's cat name is Crody.
I've been whipping feet, bro.
Who's Joel Osteen?
Piece of shit.
Okay.
He's basically like a real life gemstone, righteous gemstone.
Oh, he's the pastor. Yeah, he's the guy who wouldn't let people into his church during some floods or something.
Yeah, Hurricane Harvey 2017. He was running a 16,000 person capacity church called Lakewood Church. I'm sure during the hurricane there was obviously some weather danger, but after especially, I'm sure too, was when he was really expected to open up the church and shit to refugees, people without homes from the hurricane and shit. So yeah, we can maybe look forward to that in a funny way in the next season of Righteous Gemstones.
True.
Yeah.
So on Euphoria, Kendrick also says, Cole and Aubrey know I'm selfish. The crown is heavy. I pray they're my real friends. If not, I'm YNW Melly. I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get that. I had to look it up. Don't like you popping shit at Pharrell. He's gonna inherit the beef on that one. Fuck all that pushing P. Let me see you push a T. Better off spinning on him again if you think about pushing me. He's Terrence Thornton. I'm Terrence Crawford. I'm whooping feet.
That verse is so crazy, bro. Bro, I might have to spin that song after we're done with all this shit. I will sit in a couple of days.
Yeah, the beat's so good, and he's rapping just like so like, I feel like he out-rapped like Drake. Like no matter what they were talking about, it's just like it's so entertaining to hear Kendrick's flow and some of his wordplay and lyrics and stuff like that, and his tones of voice and stuff. Like as a totally biased Kendrick fan, that was the ultimate. That's the ultimate win in this diss track battle, is to you can kind of have cutting remarks and that'll hold weight, but like whoever is ultimately rapping the best and then maybe secondary just having the best overall song, I feel like is a very powerful metric.
I think it's between the most tea being spilt, the best rapping, and then the best song, overall song, like replay value type thing. And it really just kind of depends on the type of person you are. I could hear arguments for each of them, for all of it, but I think it's going to be hard pressed. That as of right now, I think Kendrick has all three. But we'll get into that later. But I think Euphoria up to that point was like you could argue I think Push Ups is a better song. Like catchier, sort of more replay value, but I think from a lyrics perspective and like a diss perspective, it for sure was upgrade to me.
I feel like Kendrick really was putting in the work to have some like catchy kind of hooks, or at least like very repeatable moments, phrases, little one-liners in Euphoria. That was like, damn, like Kendrick is actually trying to like. I think he might be low-key seeing if he can out-hook Drake, like, get a song that's going to stream more, and then he has another bullet in the argument gun, if you will. Kendrick would also get another word in after Euphoria before Drake is able to answer. May 3rd, a lowly 2 days ago, he drops his second diss, full-focus diss, 616 in LA, title which I've heard to have countless possible meanings. First of all, it's using Drake's history of releasing songs with timestamps in the titles, in kind of annoying way, maybe.
Yeah, that was honestly, a huge and great move, Kendrick.
June 16th is Father's Day in many countries, 6/16, including the U.S. and Canada. He'll keep doubling down on this, kind of your shitty father to your son angle. Since he first kind of introduced it in Euphoria. It's also Tupac's birthday, reference to Taylor Made, of course.
And that beat, funny enough, is produced by Taylor Swift's main producer.
Jack Antonoff, yeah. So it's literally Taylor Made. Little rebuttal.
Sorry, there's also two more. Fucking O.J. Simpson's murder case began on June 16th. And then people are also looking to the Bible. Corinthians 6:16, which reads, "Do you not know that he who unites himself with a prostitute is one with her body? ? For it is said, the two will become one flesh."
I mean, with the Bible stuff, I think that's crazy because I'm literally pulling up Bible.com right now. I'm going to go to a random book, and I'm going to pull up a 6:16, and we're going to see. You could flip anything because that's just the way the Bible's worded. Yeah. It has some crazy lines literally everywhere. Let's go to
100%.
Let's see. Ezra 6:16 says, "Then the people of Israel, the priests, the Levites, and the rest of the exiles celebrated the dedication of the house of God with joy." I could flip that fairly easily. That's just a random Old Testament book.
Flip that shit.
It could be about Kendrick, the people of Israel.
Yeah.
The Israelites are the people of God, so they could be alluding to the real rap game. The real people are celebrating the dedication of the house of the Lord God. Kendrick with joy. This is I could flip any of these verses into a thing about Kendrick or Drake in this rap battle. Pretty big Kendrick fan, but that's crazy to think it's any specific verse.
Yeah, that type of shit was the shit that I was seeing up and down my timeline about like damn near every single Kendrick or Drake line. They're doing it to Drake too, and I'm just like, dog. Like these guys they're sure there's some meaning, but like every line does not have 7 fucking meanings. Like it can just be hard because it's hard. Like what do we like?
Especially for the 6:16, like Father's Day and Tupac's birthday was enough. I'm sure he saw that shit.
It was like cool.
Like, and that was perfect. Yeah. He's like, okay, like you don't need anything else. You're not going to keep looking up things after those two things work together.
Yeah.
So yeah, less than 72 hours after Euphoria, we get 6:16 in LA. Kendrick is talking about spies in OVO. OVO is working for me. Everyone inside your team is whispering, he says. Yeah, so what did you guys think of 616 in LA?
I unfortunately do not have much of opinion. This one and Tailor Made Freestyle are definitely the two least listened to tracks for me of them all.
I would agree. I haven't listened to it. Probably listened to a similar amount that I've listened to Tailor Made, which was just like a handful of times. I feel like it felt very similar to Tailor Made in the way that I feel like he wasn't really he still wasn't like haymakering yet. It was still just like kind of inching him on to try to drop whatever bomb you're gonna drop, because like I'm ready for it. Like just the fact that he's willing to drop so quickly with each other, I think he's trying to just show Drake in that moment that it's like, it's wartime with him. I mean, like I said, I don't think there's anything that was spilt on there that was new news that he hadn't really shared in Euphoria, and I think he is
really just the spies inside OVO angle.
Yeah,
he also said out of 100 people in OVO, 20 of them want you as a casualty, 1 of them is next to you, and 2 of them is practically tied to your lifestyle. May 3rd, Drake strikes back. The 3rd diss track for him, Family Matters.
7 minutes almost.
Oh, it's 7.5 minutes.
7.
Yeah, this one, another whopper. He first starts bringing up the relationship Kendrick has with Whitney Alford, longtime fiance Whitney Alford, calling the sanctity of that relationship into question.
I mean, there's definitely a lot going on that song. The sort of 2 big T's dropped on that song, I think, are the questioning Whitney and his relationship, the being engaged for whatever, almost 10 years and not married, and then tagging along with that the allegations that both he is being a bachelor, fucking particularly white girls, and that one of the kids is not his own, and in fact is Kendrick's manager's kid. Again, no proof to any of this. The only proof is, I guess, that Kendrick has a pad in New York, but that doesn't give me enough evidence that he's fucking white girls in it.
That seems like pretty standard.
You make rich
like
white.
You make enough money.
Exactly.
You're gonna have an apartment in LA and New York.
And the alleged, I don't know if Austin said it, of Kendrick beating his fiance.
Right.
Obviously, don't know if it's true, but
yeah, the beating thing once again. The only thing was a rumor on the Breakfast Club that got brought up, I think, around the time, but Kendrick quickly denied during the interview. And as far as I know, there isn't any other evidence of it. But I think that this is a sort of the positive and negatives of, I feel like, the yin and the yang of what Kendrick and Drake have approached social media and like presence as a whole, is that because Kendrick is as reclusive as he is, I think that has served him well in most cases. It to me also, though, just at the same time creates a little bit of a uncertainty of who is he really behind closed doors, sort of thing for people, and that's the perception I think that Drake is kind of trying to attack him from, is like, we don't really, this guy isn't who you guys think he is, sort of angle. Whereas like Kendrick is like, this guy is exactly who you think he is, and he's actually even worse. It's kind of like both sides of that.
That's a good way to put it.
Did you guys like Family Matters?
I did.
Yeah, I actually did like the beat on this one too.
That first and third beat, boy.
That final, third beat.
That shit is right.
He used Mrs. Justice's orchestra class, dude.
It was this one where I was like, these guys, I kind of had a realization. I was like, these guys, first of all, they're kind of being gay.
Yeah, for sure.
Second of all, I know they're doing that because they're basically like they're collaborating on an album right now.
Yeah, that's a good point.
These songs, they have so much similar DNA because of the lyrical content they have, like they're just taking aim at each other mostly, and the beats are like, they're always like pretty fire but minimal. Like they're not really overdoing it. Like maybe they have some cool sample flair. There's just something about the songs that they all sounded similar enough to me that I was like, man, when this is all said and done, if I just put these on an album together, like it might be a pretty fun album listening experience.
Absolutely.
Yeah, but Drake, not only talking about Kendrick on this one, he also addresses the rest of the ops again, dissing Rocky, The Weeknd, Metro, Future, and Rick Ross again.
I don't know if he really disses Future as much in this one.
It actually kind of backs up my thought of like they don't really have problems. It feels like Drake is basically like I didn't really want to have beef with you. Basically, I didn't realize we were going to have to do this type of thing. But yeah, he does mention him. He said something like that made him sick to his stomach. Yeah, I think honestly that I've seen it on social media talking about it. It's like I think the only one that actually hurts Drake, like that he did not want to actually beef with was Future. Not from it could be because obviously adjacent to sort of what he benefits from being friends with Future, but more so like I think he's at least positioning it like I thought me and Future were boys sort of thing.
Do you guys think it's weird that Future hasn't come out with the track, or do you think Future will say anything, release anything?
I don't know. I don't think so, because Future hasn't said anything, and also based off of the perspective I think Drake is saying in this song is that he doesn't want to beef with Future, really.
Yeah.
I think Drake just everyone that went after him, except the only one he didn't go after is ASAP Rocky and Push-Ups, but he basically went after everyone who he thought went after him.
And he went up on him harder in Family Matters.
Yeah, and he continued that in Family Matters, except for Future. So it's almost as if Drake is leaving the door open.
How far we've come from the song "Fucking Problems."
I swear, dude. What is 2 Chainz up to right now?
Yeah, he needs to weigh in on this.
He did. I saw that he made a comment under a Instagram post. He said, "I heard my name" with a laughing emoji and a fire emoji.
Yeah, there has been some like here and there like Twitter responses, just like little affirmations of the beef, and I know a few people picking sides, like Zach Fox saying Kendrick has got Drake washed or something like that.
Yeah, I've seen some very interesting perspective from other rappers, which I think is pretty cool throughout it, especially leading up to the Family Matters Meet the Grams night, where I even saw fucking Denzel Curry, who for all intents and purposes is I would assume is like extremely inspired by Kendrick. He's basically saying like don't count out Drake in this sort of moment. And the next morning after both of them dropped, he hadn't said anything. He was like basically saying like it kind of feels weird that it was taken to this place. I think a lot of people feel similar about this of like just the allegations that are being thrown out by both of them is crazy, and I think all of us know how big these two artists are, and it's like it's cool, but it sucks,
Right. It has a little bit of the mom and dad are fighting.
Exactly.
going on. Are they gonna get a divorce?
Yeah.
Did you guys see what Vince Staples said?
No.
He was at an interview somewhere, I think in maybe Miami. It was pretty sunny. Doing a little interview out in the open, little crowd. One of the crowd people guys stood up, asked what he thought about the Drake Kendrick beef, and he did not take a side, and instead went on a 1 minute 30, I think, monologue about how Universal is basically fucking all of black artists out of being able to really make money out of music, and that should be the focus instead of the beef.
I fucking love Vince Staples, bro.
Absolutely, yeah. Vince Staples is probably the most right person in hip hop. I know he's been on that Labels, are the real villain subject for a little bit, and yeah, there is like a little bit of that like mentioned by Kendrick or Drake in these disses. Yeah, it's certainly not the focus. You know, it's just like a little, hey, your label made you do this. Your label made you do that.
Yeah, Joe Budden called Vince Staples, I think, after Push Ups came out, and was asking Vince Staples what he thought, like live on the pod, and he did that exact same thing. He talked for like 3 minutes about how like y'all are blinded by what the actual problem is, and the whole room was just like, shut the fuck up, we're trying to talk beef. but like it is. I'm glad Vince is standing on his what he feels like is, you know, and what I probably would agree is like the overarching, way more important thing here.
Yeah, no, he's dead ass right. I'd be remiss without mentioning, before we move on from Family Matters, the imagery that Drake has put with this song.
Yeah.
In which not only does he head to the new Hoking Chinese restaurant Kendrick referenced on Euphoria, but he also crushes Good Kid, Mad City, minivan. I used to know what this fucking model was, but
either a Dodge Caravan, or it looked like a Dodge Caravan, or a Ford Freestar or Windstar. What it looked like.
Damn, you kind of know your shit.
My mom owned all three at different points.
Dodge Caravan, yep, good call.
I remember hopping in a van, Logan driving in it.
So yeah, one less Dodge Caravan in the world, unfortunately.
That's true. And then the
another reason to just fucking hate Drake.
The restaurant as well. Him going there was pretty. I thought the whole video concept was pretty funny, pretty good.
Did all of you watch the music video all the way through?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on the final shot with who Drake was talking to?
The redhead bandana wearing guy.
Yeah.
This is another thing where I don't know, but I feel like it's too particular not to mean something.
Yeah.
I feel like it could be just like Drake representing, talking to a mole in Kendrick's camp, I guess. I don't know, it seems like it's supposed to mean something, but it's really hard to try and draw anything from it, because it's just like, there's no basis. You don't know what he's aiming for, really. It's supposed to be something, but I don't know what, really.
And that's why I think it's either he either has more to say later and is going to expound upon, sort of in showing proof, or going further down what he knows, or otherwise it definitely is just kind of like, to me it's like a misstep, because that's showing that he's indicating he knows something, or is, you're putting all this time and money into a video and you're doing this, like, if it's just him saying like, I have someone too, I guess that's fine, because again, we can go into it in a second of like some of the allegations that Kendrick goes Meet the Grams, and them being like, at least one of them kind of showing that I think has been somewhat, I think something that people don't think is true. I think that he might be lending to like, you might think you know some things, but I actually know things from what, I'm being told. But that's, again, all speculation. I don't really give a fuck what either of them are saying until someone shows me what the fuck they're, actually know.
By the way, I do think it is just kind of insane that they're both insinuating they have spies in the other's camp, like it's America and the Soviet Union in the Cold War.
Dog, it really does feel like that, though.
True.
But I guess maybe, the right price, you could unseal some loose lips type deal. No pause.
Do y'all think the ring that he's wearing around his neck, I've heard multiple sort of things. It could be either the Pharrell Tupac ring thing, could be the Whitney ring. I've seen some people trying to draw the connections that he has, like Whitney's ring.
People are saying that the receipt in the album cover for Meet the Grams is the receipt for the jewelry.
I'm very interested to see what happens as to why Meet the Grams cover isn't on DSPs, because with the whole allegations that we're getting to in a minute with Meet the Grams, of it kind of looking like that might not be true. Like, we're starting to see that there might have been a potential sort of mole situation, which I just doubt Kendrick would like get fucking duped like that. But like, there's enough lines that Drake says in Family Matters with like the Ozempic line, and just like the jewelry and all that. Like, if he was feeding him fake shit, and then that was obviously a big culprit, is what he's talking about on Family Matters. That is going to hit a lot less hard than it currently does if we find out that like it is confirmed that like that shit wasn't true. Because right now, Family Matters, that shit, the timing and everything of it coming out like an hour later, it completely stopped everything that the movement that Drake had for that song. I don't think Drake expected him to release it that soon. You don't shoot a video and do all that shit,
right,
for it to get stamped an hour later.
Yeah, the tactic of releasing right after the song to try and cut off all the discourse feedback that's looping off from it.
Genius.
That's a pretty good diss track tactic. And Kendrick has dropped 2, in fact, since Drake's last diss track, even though that was only almost 2 days ago. After Family Matters on May 3rd, let's fully jump into May 4th. Kendrick replying with Meet the Grams.
Yeah, Adonis.
Real family matter going on here. The main subject of the song, obviously, being Kendrick's discussions with Drake's kids, father, family, potentially a hidden child. That subject matter coming out right after Family Matters is seemingly, no coincidence.
You think it's proof that Kendrick has a spy in OVO camp?
Yeah. I think it would be a sort of proof for that, angle.
Meet the Grams feels like a track that he's had written.
It does feel like a track that has enough of a complete theme that he's just like really working on. That it does seem like he may have been working on it for a while.
See, but that's only the morning of. Because 616 is just a photo of that glove, of what the full picture is, with the shirt and then the receipts and the medication.
Meet the Grams is wrote by the time he wrote 616, in my opinion. No chance. I think Kendrick has preloaded a lot of this. Like, I think he is like war ready in that regard. Like, I think he has.
You think he spent those like double-digit days or whatever in between writing the majority of the diss tracks?
1,000%. 1,000%.
Probably.
In fact, he probably already had like skeletons. Maybe not like the beats picked out or like direct things that were said, but he's had skeletons for this since like that. He's not an idiot.
Yeah.
And I think the narrative for this beef extremely hinges, because like from a first of all, from a beef track period, I think Meet the Grams is one of the darkest and sinister sounding beats and just approaches. Is an approach that true. It's an approach that only like the true sickos, the Pusha T's, the Kendricks, like the real sicko rappers can do, and I don't think anybody can do it as good as Kendrick can when it comes to that type of stuff. That is something that
Drake can do it at all?
Drake cannot do the talk. I mean, he could do it. I will find it hard to believe that he'll be able to make it as hard hitting. He definitely can't do the approach has already been done now. If Drake tries to do like the talking to Whitney's perspective, it could hit, but I don't think it's going to be as sinister. I don't think it's going to be as like, this dude is like, stay away from this guy, like sort of vibe that Kendrick gives off on this entire thing. Oh man, that shit, jaw dropping as you're listening to it for the first time. I think that a lot of this, again, is positioning and narrative when it comes to like public perception of beef, and the fact that there is, Drake has started denying the kid allegations, and there seems to be like at least more movement on disproving that from like an easy to disprove standpoint. I think that like the quicker that gets disproven, the quicker that Drake will have a stronger stance in the public perception as of now. Because as of now, I think most people would agree that Kendrick is up. But if there is able to be defied quick proof that Drake doesn't have a kid and Kendrick either was told a lie or is just deliberately lying, then it's going to be really easy for Drake to string together, like, you know, you're building your entire big diss track off of the fact that I have another kid, which is a lie. Why would we believe you about any of this other stuff that you're, like, claiming, you know? Which, again, it's all allegations at this point, but I think the quicker either someone's able to prove something or the quicker someone's able to disprove something is going to, like, sway everything here.
I know the extent of Drake's rebuttal to the missing daughter thing is he like posted a picture where he was like, hey, if I got a daughter, like, come here, like,
yeah,
you know.
He told academics that, like, if you or anyone can find my 11-year-old daughter, I will come work for you.
He would quit rap and come work for academics.
The pedo angle is probably going to be even harder to substantiate for Kendrick.
Bro, he said that the embassy is going to get raided, dog. He said the embassy is going to get raided, bruh. That motherfucker better have some shit that he knows, bruh. Like, that's
We're going to definitely talk about that further for Not Like Us.
Yeah, true. Which is an absolute hit.
Man, I was dancing last night.
That shit is, bro, he gets into a bag, bro. Oh, I love that West Coast shit, bro. Oh my god.
Yeah, that shit and Euphoria both. He also kind of brings up that Drake may have problems with, like, alcohol, gambling.
Probably true.
I mean, do be gambling.
Probably true.
He loves to gamble and he loves to drink.
Yeah.
He just like me, for real.
No, you don't gamble enough, for real.
Yeah, I need to get those numbers up.
Wonder if Kendrick has ever had any of those problems. Definitely alcohol.
Yeah, Kendrick on strike isn't gambling, man.
He really goes after the OVO camp with the pedophile angle. Ghostwriters, cosmetic surgeries. He says this is evolved beyond a rap battle. It's a lifelong battle with yourself.
Felt very much like the end of Mother I Sober to me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That was my first thought, actually, when we started off with Dear Adonis. I was like, sounds kind of like Mother I Sober.
It's definitely just so cool to use like a different framing like device like for your diss track.
Yeah.
Which I think is kind of reminiscent of the AI Faces kind of like framing device he used on the Hard Part 5. I think this would have been the most scathing track Kendrick had released so far, but less than 24 hours after throwing Meet the Grams into the world, he dropped Not Like Us. He's definitely doubling down on Drake and OVO being pedophiles. The album cover obviously is Drake's The Embassy house mansion, full of red sex offender fucking pin drops like you'd find in Google Maps covering the house.
Can anybody confirm to me, do y'all know if anybody's found out if that is like is that like him putting the pins on the house, or is that an actual like screenshot of like all of them?
No, I'm pretty sure that's just Photoshop. I'm not.
Okay.
No, there's no way that's actually like.
Yeah, because if that was true, then
it's just all out there for the world to see.
If that's just been sitting there and no one's seen it and Kendrick just put it on the track, that would be the most insane thing or insane reveal of all time.
Yeah, it's a wrap.
Yeah, you gotta tell your kids not to go fucking near that house on Halloween. Yeah, it does look like I think it's that from the app Nextdoor. They have those where you can see like where sex offenders are in your neighborhood and shit. He says, "Say Drake, I hear you like him young. You better not ever go to cell block 1. Yeesh. To any bitch that talk to him and they in love, just make sure you hide your little sister from him."
I feel like he kind of got more playful, back to the playful bag on this one.
Yeah, it was like a little more fun, even though he's saying, Drake is no certified lover boy. He's in fact a certified pedophile.
To me, like Kendrick starting with Euphoria kind of like attacked his character in general. And then to me, it seems like it's been almost like a slow build towards like what this song is basically call him a pedophile. Basically, like it seems like to me Kendrick was at a broader scope and then now has closed it into the single thing he wants to focus on. Because in the last track, Meet the Grams. At the last verse, to Dear, is it Dear Aubrey?
Yeah,
I think it's in that one. He basically compares him to Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah.
So he's calling him a pedophile in that one. And then this time he actually takes the whole entire track to, not the whole entire track, most of the track, to me it seems like, to call him a pedophile.
So when he does the Aubrey and does the
Harbury,
is Harvey Weinstein, but what I thought off rip was Harvey Dent, like Two-Face.
That's good too.
Better not run for district attorney.
That'd be hilarious.
Also in Not Like Us, I think in the I guess like the fourth verse, the way he kind of goes after him about being a colonizer going to Atlanta to essentially hook up with black rappers, again going after his character, not being a part of the culture, I think was a very unique and actually a hard-hitting take, going after him like that, in my opinion.
Plus, I think the fact that he mapped it out with like specific names is like exactly how you have to walk the dog for like the public, you know. Like you gotta say like the specific people because you immediately mention names and like you know you say Lil Baby that people immediately think yes indeed they immediately think like Wants and Needs like the songs that like
Future 21 Young
tied to that exactly
Quavo 2 Chainz
saying he lied with the song No Lie being with 2 Chainz and Drake. No, Karl Malone is Drake's neighbor.
Yeah, it's really crazy.
I didn't know that.
Kendrick
I saw the
brought
photo.
up John Stockton too.
Yeah, that's absolutely a throw at that for sure.
I'm finna pass on this body of John Stockton.
His alma mater
gotta bring up our boy John Stockton on the Stockton 5.
That's right. This comes after the Hall of Fame point guard has repeatedly spread misinformation.
I think my favorite line in this, and you can call me.
I'm gonna call you some fucked up shit, dude.
Common. I guess it's probably gonna be a common line that everybody loves. Is the switch on the David Free line? He says trying to strike a chord is probably A minor.
That whole build up to that was awesome.
Yeah,
I love that one. Yeah, the wop 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 dot fuck him up.
Yeah,
I love that little going into it as well.
The raspiness that he does on the second or maybe third verse. It's definitely not the first verse where he really gets into that. Like, what's that fucking song off the Black Panther? With SOB, the SOB West Coast group. It honestly, if you guys haven't heard that song,
have not.
It's like it's definitely like one of the few times that Kendrick has done this where he like is really leaning into like the super West Coast Bay Area sound, and I love when he does it. The limited times he has, but he really leans into the slang and sort of like just like demeanor that a lot of those artists have on their stuff. That shit is sick.
You talking about Paramedic?
Paramedic, yeah.
That one also with the Soundwave producer credit, like this one.
Yeah.
Not Like Us.
I don't know if you guys have been keeping up on Twitter, but there's rumors that we could be getting another one today.
From Kendrick?
Schoolboy Q said something to the effect of like, it's Sunday, we're no rap today, and someone like in the camps responded, be like, we'll see about that or some shit like that.
I think it was like, good luck.
Good luck, yeah.
Yeah, that was a please no rap today.
Yeah.
Can we take a little break?
Like literally though. You can just drop like 5 tracks in 6 days or some shit like that. And I think in regards to how I think the rest of this is gonna go, if Drake ends it, if Drake stops now, it is for a confirmed L, in my opinion. I don't think that it's going to have a super long-standing opinion on most people, but I think it'll be confirmed that like the average fan, I don't think should or would question who's like the better rapper. I think if I'm Drake, I would let Kendrick empty the clip, let him rap. I don't know if you watched the Joe Budden clip, Logan, that I sent earlier. Him and Academics were talking.
I didn't watch all of it. I watched some of
it.
But
yeah, I think Joe made a great point because when Joe dissed Drake a couple years ago, that's basically what Joe did. Joe was not at Kendrick level, but Joe just released like 7 diss tracks, and Drake never acknowledged, I don't think, any of them other than he put it like a caption or like something about like basically like him being kind of a no name. I think that if I'm Drake, I am letting Kendrick empty the clip here. Do as much as he wants to in this run. I would let it breathe. and drop one more that's a 6-minute, not a hit, just him like on some real rapidy rap shit, like addressing everything that he wants to address, and then call it a day. Because at this point, I don't think that Drake is at the position that he is I don't think he's gonna approach the drop every day until the fucking sun goes down, like every day. You know what I'm saying? I don't think Drake is interested in doing that. I think Kendrick is the rumors that he's in album mode is to me kind of apparent. You know, you're catching Kendrick is timing this perfectly, and I think Drake is, you know, coming off a tour, not in like album mode sort of thing. I think you're catching him right at the right. I don't think there was going to be a time though that it mattered, but it doesn't help that Kendrick is timing is everything with this, you know. Yeah, I think what you do is you drop one more that like really showcases your ability to rap on some like Alchemist sort of, you know, just like a real hard dark beat type thing, and get it all out there. And the Drake fans, the main base will love it. The average fan will say, you know, Kendrick might have won, but Drake really did come to play, and that's, I think, the best you're going to get at the situation. Unless there is still further proof that Drake has that they are going to be willing to share about any of the allegations. Otherwise, it's just going to be both of them, you know, accusing each other of actual acts of crimes and no proof, you know.
I bet the amount of private investigators following either of them has gone up 300%.
Yeah, there's a fucking, it's alarms are being set off in every police station.
You guys see Dave Free's Instagram story?
No.
He posted Not Like Us, link to YouTube on it.
Didn't say anything with it?
Nope. Just a picture of the cover and a link to the YouTube. 20 hours ago from now. I want Kendrick to drop a diss track of him on gospel music today.
Oh, dude, that would be so fire.
That would be so funny.
If it follows the trend of focusing on a sub argument that he's brought up already, what do you think it should focus on?
Well, he did say he lied about his religious views. If he did a little track of everything he said he lied about on Grams and like expounded on it each one on a separate track of different genres,
that'd be crazy.
Pack it up. It's not gonna happen, but pack it up.
That is one thing I kind of feel that I wish both of them would do. Like, I feel like they're doing it subtly. And to be honest, I do think this is a culprit to like Kendrick already having written a lot of this stuff of what he wanted to say. It kind of does feel like they're doing like a debate style where neither of them are like really addressing what the other is saying on the tracks. They're just kind of like saying like what they want to say. And I don't know, it feels kind of less back and forth at times and more like, I don't know, like they just both are making announcements.
Yeah, it feels like political ads.
Yeah, 100%.
The politicians will just like run fucking fervently like a couple weeks before the election. They're just like, yeah, this guy he's been fucking up our fucking state for 24 years. You need to elect him out of there or some shit. He's friends with Barack Obama. Me, I'm shooting an AK-47 at a broke down car in the middle of a field.
Your mic just keeps cutting out just at the right time that it sounds like the fucking FBI is silencing you just the right amount.
We know that shit's the fucking truth, dude. Anything else we want to see out of both of these rappers in the future? Anything else we want out of this diss battle? Or has it gone too far?
Okay.
Already?
It's gone too far. I hope it's all not true. And I need it gone too far just as in the allegations that they both have like proclaimed. And I hope none of it's true. And I hope Drake, like Austin said, I hope Drake responds showing that, okay, he actually can do this and he did compete, but Kendrick still beat him.
I don't think it's gone too far if there's truth. If they're lying, I think it has gone too far. But if there is truth, I don't think there's too far if the things are true. But you know, we hope we hope that things aren't as bleak as they seem, but you know, we see the entertainment industry as a whole has always shady stuff going down. So
yeah,
Yep.
I don't know. It's kind of crazy.
I feel like public perception is actually, from what I've tell on Twitter and just comments and everywhere, like, I don't know, I kind of get the vibe that people don't believe them. Like, I feel like there hasn't been a visceral reaction from either of them of like, I'll never listen to Drake and Kendrick ever again, like there was with R. Kelly or like any of them that obviously got proven. But it's like, I don't know, it kind of feels to me that like no one really.
Well, yeah, I think that's just because it's a beef. So people think they're just fronting.
Yeah.
I am a guy that is right on the verge of like, I'll never listen to Drake again. And it's partly, and it's because of this diss battle. And it's partly because like somewhat credible allegations being thrown his way. But also because just like, I respect Kendrick so much. And he's telling me like, hey, if you fuck with me, you should stop fucking with Drake. He's really convinced about it. So it's like, damn, if I really, respect and find Kendrick, to be like proven himself, like in my mind, like as a respectable figure through his art, shit. Like, do I owe him, maybe a little bit not listening to Drake?
I could see the argument. To me, it's just like, obviously I'm someone that loves both of them. So I'm not like, I'm not going to be as quick to like assume one is, I'm not assuming one is more correct over the other. Again, the more I've thought about it, the kid stuff being like disproven or seemingly disproven, like, I don't know, that to me is like, that to me is kind of important of like, how much of this shit is beef shit. You can very easily extrapolate, Drake being a weirdo to Drake being a pedophile in the essence of beef. You can very quickly make that point, a point that has been jokingly made across the internet for years.
But it's not court.
Right, exactly.
It's not. There's no proof.
Right,
for sure.
Right, and that's why I'm just like, I don't feel like I have learned. The only tea that I have learned about Drake that is brought new to me is the whole kid thing, and that is the one thing that is seemingly being proven like not true. So I'm just like, how much is this just like Kendrick? I don't know, and also it ties into like the overall arching point to me of like, going back to the beginning of the beef, like the origination of like of them linking up with each other, and like Kendrick has always been the person that has like pretty much been on the offensive from the start. Like Kendrick is the one that has like engaged in any sort of like, Kendrick was the one that started with Control. Kendrick was the one that was the only person that responded to Drake after multiple people responding to Control, and being the only one that has like subliminally gone back and forth with him. To me, it has always felt like Drake has been like kind of on the defensive with Kendrick, and like that was just like the final straw where Drake was like, all right, he has now gone at me at completely intentionally. And I don't think this is wrong. I think Kendrick is competitive. He believes he's the best. He should do that. But it's just like, it's towing the line of like jealousy, and it's towing the line of like, you're kind of upset that he's in a position that you feel like you deserve to be in. And yeah, I don't know. I think there's a lot that goes into like how I feel about the position. But with allegations, those allegations are just too serious for me to just assume is, it's not like this is a new thing. It's not like we're finding out that Drake is like talking to little girls and this is like something that hasn't been joked around about for years. This is him extrapolating on something that has already been kind of like, it hasn't bothered people enough to stop them from listening to this point. The allegations to this point have not been serious enough that it stopped him from being viewed as like the top hip hop artist or one of the top in the world. So it's like, Kendrick hasn't shown me anything that has changed that or enhanced that in any way with this. He just like said it himself for the first time.
I think they're both kind of sticking their reputation on the things they're saying. And because, I mean, if either one are like lying to a great extent, like that's going to be a big hit against them, I think. And I think Kendrick just has a better reputation than Drake. And kind of that's kind of Drake's thing. He doesn't really care. And none of his fans really care about, poke fun at stuff, and oh, he likes kids and whatnot, and he does some weird stuff, but that's just Drake. I think Kendrick has a much worse hit to the reputation to take. So it's more inclined slightly to think that's pretty serious for Kendrick just to be wilding out like that.
On the Drake being weird with like young girls front, like there's just a lot of like incidental evidence of like him being sus. His like friend that was arrested for sexual trafficking in 2013.
Yeah, Baca.
Yeah, it's pretty weird that he would even know someone like that. The Millie Bobby Brown texts, I feel like, were pretty weird.
That's the one that is definitely the most weird to me. I think they met somewhere, like at the Grammys or something, I think. And then kind of became friends after that, which is a little bit weird. Well, a lot weird actually. But like, it'd be one thing, like if maybe let's say Drake is grooming young girls, which I'm not saying is true or isn't true. They wouldn't say anything, but like the only proof I've ever seen is like Millie talking about it. But no girls have ever said anything that Drake has ever done anything nefarious with underage girls. Like it's always been people have said that or think that based on his actions, but there has never been direct proof about it. Which doesn't mean he's not hiding it, because rich people can hide stuff.
The one really weird text, I'm pretty sure this is real. Drake sending like a fucking him biting a Starbucks cup straw and giving almost like a Logan kind of smirked face. And he sends a picture to Bobby Brown, and she says, "Oh no." And then he says, "Send one back, thanking face. Are you mad at me?" Question mark, thanking face. He also, among the text, sent Cat Williams' sketch, "It's Pimpin', poor little tink tink." Millie Bobby Brown said, "Is that a band?" Cat Williams. And then she was like, "I just got broken up on. Jacob cheated on me. Boys can be so stupid." She texts this to Drake, and Drake says, "Isn't that the guy with the metal legs?" Laughing face. She says, "No, that's Oscar Pistorius. My ex is Jacob Sartorius."
Yeah, and like that also leads into the corniness of what Drake is. Fucking weirdo. But some of the stuff, other than the fucking Cat Williams thing, that thing's weird. She's not gonna know who Cat Williams is at that age. Some of it's almost like father-daughter, but then some of it is weird. The fucking Starbucks thing is weird, to me at least, because
that picture's the worst.
I'm like,
I mean, really,
what are we doing?
Puts it over the edge.
I just need Drake, unless he's on tour and fans are coming up and wanting photos, I just need him to quit taking photos and messaging girls that are under the age of, 20 really, but under 18.
Have you guys seen the picture of with Billie Eilish's 18th birthday post?
Oh, you talking about the edited one?
Nah.
The Photoshop one where
that's hilarious.
It's Photoshop.
Yeah, where it has like Drake saying something like "finally" or some shit like that.
I've been waiting.
I guess last thing I want to say about like Kendrick's most recent diss track, I guess two things, and it kind of goes into what like Sam and Chris were saying. But one, if he has some fucking dirt, like truly, I need him to get that shit to the police or whatever. But secondly, Kendrick seems to be slowly going into that point harder and harder, to where it seems like he could release something. But again, like, why would you continue to beef about it if you do know for a fact he is a pedophile? Like, at some point, like, if he truly does know, I need him to turn that shit in. But I mean, maybe it is just overall beef. Maybe Kendrick really has heard things, but he just doesn't have
like proof to be able
what
to
he
share
would
it.
need to be able to either A, turn him in, or B, to prove it in general. Because my opinion is going to be the same thing. If Drake does say something about Kendrick being a woman beater or having one of his kids not being his, but like I don't see anything else other than him talking about it, then it's just going to be like, okay,
They're all just doing the beef shit.
yeah, this is just beef. It doesn't prove anything.
Yeah, there's just like no proof for the Kendrick thing. I did find a little more proof on the Drake thing. Ogden Theater, Denver, Colorado, 2010. He apparently kind of was dancing with and neck kissed a girl who was later confirmed to be 17 that he brought up on stage.
There's an interview I saw that there's this girl that I slightly remember or recognize the interviewer, but I don't know him off top. But she was talking about like how she was obsessed with Drake, and one of her friends like knew Drake somehow, and he like came out to their basketball game in high school, and she was talking about, oh, it's not weird. Drake just likes high school girls basketball.
Yeah, it's like I don't even know if I would believe that like he is, fully a pedo, but it's just a lot of sus evidence, like, and it's enough to kind of judge him for like acting sus in those ways, like that much is.
Yeah, Drake has definitely built that for himself. The
weirdo attachment, he has absolutely like made his own bed there,
Yeah, maybe he's got more to talk about Kendrick, even though one of his last statements was, "This shit has got to be over by now for anyone out here that's calling it," right?
Yeah, I listened to like the end a few times of that one, and there's just no way that Drake thought that Family Matters was going to be his last. If he wanted to win the beef, it was going to be his last track. Yeah. It seems like it was his final track, but it also seems like maybe he has another one, but it was too hard to tell. And like push-ups you could tell. Because of the end, he said drop, what was it, drop? Oh no, I was trying to keep it PG. Is what he said at the end of push-ups.
I'm on that good cushion alcohol.
That's some down bitches I can call. And then he obviously used that in Family Matters.
Yeah, that's another, just a little thing I don't like is people calling a beef in their diss track, like, bruh. Like there's confidence and there's just like, okay, bro, I don't think it's over by a long shot, and I hope you don't think it is, because that you're severely underestimating the lengths that Kendrick will go.
Yeah, because he ends up saying at the end of it, like, you're dead, which to me makes it think that he thinks it's over, but also, like, the last line is, you hired a crisis management team to clean up that you beat on your queen, which the way he, like, says it, and, like, the end of that track almost seems like he would delve more into those theoretical secrets, but I don't know, because it's gonna get even worse for Drake, even though he probably should let Kendrick empty the clip. But if Kendrick continues to drop and like we hear nothing from Drake better be working on a masterpiece at that point.
Well, but that's the thing though. Like I actually think that if Kendrick drops like 3 more diss tracks before Drake drops, it's gonna feel like
overwhelming.
It's going to be like, all right, dog, like, especially if he's just, like, saying the same, like, Kendrick can't keep on going to the same pedo angle unless he's unveiling things. Like, by the 3rd time I'm calling him a pedo without showing us anything, it's going to be like, all right, dog, like, if he's a pedo, go take your ass to the fucking FBI, bro. Like, so that's why I think that you got to let him empty the clip if there's anything else that he has to share. But you're right. When Drake does come, it has to be it. If you're gonna go the like 4 Kendrick tracks to 1 Drake track, that 1 Drake track has to be Family Matters or better every time.
How much more can they really say about each other?
I saw you kill someone. I saw you fucking like how bad is it gonna be, bro?
It's hard to imagine it being taken further unless Kendrick goes to law school or.
That's what he was doing in between Damn and Mr. Morale.
prepare.
That would be the funniest thing. Like an actual attorney Kendrick taking him to court.
Bro, a Kendrick prosecutor.
Oh my god.
Ace attorney, motherfucker.
That would be awesome.
He's literally, we didn't know it, but he's been dedicating his whole career to taking this man down.
The level of hate, he literally would be going into the fucking Hall of Fame, like greatest ever hater. Like
classes on this man.
Like class of his own hater, bro.
Oh yeah. He's gonna leapfrog Aaron Burr in the standings.
Yeah.
Money trees. See, that's the thing about we gotta stop talking. That's just the thing about Drake. Just like the fake activist lines and not going back to your hood. Like those are very literally things that Kendrick does.
Hey, bro, I was talking to somebody here, bro, that I work with. That's from Compton, and he hates both. He hates both of them. He hates both of these guys. Honestly, the guys kind of just got a weird vibe, but he was talking about like he grew up in Compton in the area and shit, and he was like, I was kind of surprised. He was like, yeah, people like at least around where he was at, like don't really feel like he has given back / like I don't know, is like respected, I guess, in like Compton as much as you would think. Which I was like, that is super interesting because like the whole perception. I mean, obviously, I don't know anyone else directly there that I could talk to that could like confirm or deny. I'm sure it's a place that has thousands of people that probably would say the exact opposite. But it was just very interesting, like that being the first person. I was like, wow, that's the thing. Like I don't know how to validate that. I just don't know how to validate like. How does Drake know that Kendrick isn't doing those type of things? Like, how do we as fans like know? Like, what I'm saying? Like, none of us are doing the fucking research to find out that what exactly he's helping out or if he is helping out. Like, it's just like a tough angle to argue. This is the last time I talk about beef.
What a time to be alive.
What a time.
And on that note, DJ, run that Drake.
Can't wait to get some views from the Zombies game. About to give my family more life after I.
Oh no, you're doing this.
Become a certified lover boy.
Honestly, never mind.
Boo, dude.
And
honestly, this whole podcast topic, never mind.
This is stinky.
Probably we should just delete this, try again.
This is a certified stinky boy, bruh.
Certified shit dogs classic. Where'd you find this?
I don't know if you guys are keeping up, but Boston, Cleveland.
Cleveland won? They came back?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Oh, down at halftime.
I think the Cavs are going to give the Celtics a better challenge.
I fear it's a 5-game series at best.
Yeah, they'll lead for a couple minutes, and the Magic would have in the whole series. I mean, not talking about Jared Allen, but kind of what you were talking about. The way the Cavs have played in the playoffs, I don't see them getting a game. I mean, because the Magic's defense is good, but ours is better, and they struggle to score. Other than Donovan Mitchell, of course, but outside of that, they can't score.
Is there Jared Allen? Is he confirmed to be out like for extended period of time?
Jared Allen was questionable for Game 7.
Oh, okay.
So it seems like
he'll be back.
A few days he might be back. Yeah, that'd be a big guy to get back. But first game come back against the Celtics, second round.
Good luck, buddy.
Just let Porzingis out. It's unfortunate, but I don't think.
Yeah, will he be back?
No, he won't be back.
I don't know, man. That could do something, man. Between just like the low presence between Mobley and him. I don't think it's gonna be enough to win a series, but I think it might give y'all more trouble than you think.
Are you guys gonna start Al? Have you been starting Al Horford?
Yeah, Al Horford's been starting.
Okay.
He's still very serviceable, pretty good. And our bench is still pretty good.
Yeah, just no true center on the team, really, with Porzingis out.
What do you mean true center?
Horford.
Luke Cornett's a true center.
Okay. Yeah, have him go down the block, get to work.
Is the Celtics Cavs game Tuesday?
Yeah.
I didn't know Luke Cornett was 7'1". All right, fair enough.
Yeah, he's a big boy, and then Kata's 7 foot, which who knows if he sees time, but.
Dude, I'm gonna fucking blow my brains out if this is really true. This is massive news on the on the Sunday drops, and we all know what Sunday is, right? We all know. We're all
Lord's
aware
Day.
what Sundays are. Huh?
It's Lord's Day.
It's something like that.
Podcast day.
There's a rumor that Crumble will be dropping their first ever cheesecake flavor this week.
They ain't paying us for no advertising, bro.
Oh, I don't give a fuck, dog. I will ride, bro.
Who's dropping cheesecake?
Crumble, dog.
Oh, the flavor.
Like, oh, bro.
Huh? Wait, Logan, did you just fucking add punch in there?
I thought Logan was running that shit with underscore.
Did you say crumble?
No, but that would have been sweet if I did. No, I thought like you said cheesecake. I didn't hear you said crumble before, so I thought you were talking about some cheesecake place there dropping some fire cheesecake, but you're talking about a flavor crumble.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be raspberry cheesecake.
Every time Crumble has been said, I'm gonna put an AI voice that says insomnia cookies.
Dude, that would actually be fucking funny if you do that just one show. If you do the one
Yeah, it'd just be way too much work. Alright, so